Hello everybody, my name is Phương Nguyen and today I would like to present to you similarities and differences between Vietnam and China. So for the paper, I wrote about two people. One is a Vietnamese girl, which is my friend, and one is a Chinese girl. So even though they are both born in Asia, but different countries, so even though they have similarities, but some are different. So I would like to talk a little bit about how I growing up. So back then in Vietnam, I was born in Vietnam, by the way. And then back then in Vietnam, as a little girl, I was raised that I have to have high education in order to have good job, and you have to study really, really hard. That is why there's a myth that most Asian people are really good at math because we study math like crazy. Math is the key subject with literature. That those are the two key subjects that every school want you to be good at. So that's why we are mostly good at math. Not all, but mostly. As a Vietnamese person, I really appreciate that our parents, they willing to pay a lot of money for our education. They don't care how much. If that teacher is good, they willing to pay more, maybe triple, 5 times more in order for us to have a place in the class. Some challenges that I face during the time I was in Vietnam is they are so competitive. They are really competitive. Like, because education is the key in order to get good job, just like here. But over there are a lot of intelligent people because in everyone's mind, in every parent's mind, they believe that their child have to be the best, have to like the first place in the class. So everybody willing to pay money for their children to have good education, to have like extra classes outside of class, outside of school, extra tutoring. So that's why they are so competitive. If you study in like a private school, that's nothing. If you have money, then yes, you don't have to stress to be stressful or compete with other people. But in public school, they are so competitive. I remember back then there are like 10, 12 different classes in one grade. Like grade 11, they have 10, 12 different classes, and each class they have like 50 students, and they are so competitive. Oh, I have to be the first, I have to be the second place, something like that. So every day the teacher would came in, and then they you have to learn by heart the lecture before. Like every day you have to really learn by heart. Every day the teacher would came in, and then they ask, oh, did you study the material? Did you learn by heart the material? And then if yes, then come up and then tell me what you have learned, something like that. The scores are tough. I remember the scores were really tough back then. Okay, so let's talk about the similarities between Vietnam and China first. Over with my story. So the similarities of both of them is they both Asia. China is an Asian country and also Vietnam. And yes, parents always let children pursue the highest educational goal. As I have mentioned before, my case, my parents really put money for me to have higher education than other people. They willing to pay more for me to have to study abroad. And as an international student, I have more pressure because, as you all know, I have to pay more, as all international students have to pay more in order to get the education from the United States. So that's why parents willing to work hard to pay for their children's education, no matter how much. However, um, both Chinese, Vietnamese people, and I believe also other Asian American people also receive discrimination due to the pandemic. People think that, oh, that's the Chinese virus, something like that. And I don't know if it's true or not, but we as Asian living in the United States, we don't know anything. We didn't do anything wrong. We just received the discrimination by no reason. So the differences between Vietnam and China, as I already mentioned in my paper, in Vietnam, parents pay tuition for their children. In the United States, the government pay for the students' education up to high school, finishing high school. And also in China, government helps paying students tuition until finishing second grade level. But in Vietnam, we have to pay it all. We have to pay first grade, second grade, third grade, university. We have to pay them all. If you don't have money, you cannot go to school. That's the case, the worst case in Vietnam. The poor people in the countryside area, if they don't have money, the children cannot have education. Not like the United States or China. And then in Vietnam, because Vietnam is still a developing country, there's a lower chance to let children to go study abroad. I know I am an international student, but the chances for a student is in Vietnam to go study outside the country is really rare because not everybody have money. We are still like a developing country. Not everybody have much money to pay for the children education. There are a lot of students, children in Vietnam who have no education at all. So the chances are really small. In contrast, in China, China have much higher average GDP. So there are higher chances of letting children to study abroad. That is the reason why you see so many Chinese international students within the state. Okay, the pandemic effect with Asian American women, mostly women, I would say. During President Trump's time, the announcement that all Chinese have students have to go back to China, that create like a panic in the international student community because I am a Vietnamese lady, a Vietnamese student, and we live near China. We look like Chinese. Even though we are Vietnamese, yes, but we really look like Chinese people. So when he say that, it's create a panic attack to me and to the international student community. And because the because of the pandemic, Asian people, but mostly women, receive tons of discrimination. But we don't really deserve the discrimination. For example, like a month ago, there's a coincidence that a guy just randomly go to the massage place in Atlanta, and he asked for, I believe he asked for sexual action. But then the ladies over there, they did not agree to serve him, to give him the service. So he just take the gun out and shoot all the people over there. So the result for the pandemic is killing, shooting, discriminating towards Asian people. But I haven't seen any men that got discrimination on the news. They just focusing on women because they know we're weak, and they know that most most older ladies, they don't speak English really well. That's why they target the Asian ladies that are like higher age, because they don't know how to fight back and they cannot speak back. So that we didn't deserve that, and we never deserve that, to be treated that way. Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.